Hello everybody, this is Nathan Masters from Brick System Brothers, and I have a little mini build for you guys today. So let's take a look at this. This is a jet engine mini build that I did, MOC, and I guess I was kind of inspired. One of the classes I'm taking right now is a flight dynamics class, and someone asked, we had an exam coming up, and someone asked if we could bring in airplane models to use as a reference guide. And yeah, he said that would be all right, so I decided to build one. And I did, in fact, take this to my exam, and they let me use it, so he was true to his word. But yeah, let's take a look at this here. I started out with the idea to use this kind of 2x2 round shape for the fuselage and kind of go from there with the scale. And it turns out that the scale worked out pretty well to use some of these other pieces for the wings. I do want to look at these engines. These were an interesting part of the build. So there's actually some interesting pieces in here. I've got this neck bracket that can clip onto a stud, or an anti-stud rather. And then through the other part of it, I've used 3 pieces to kind of make this work out. The first one being a 1x1 round with that hole in it, and then through this part of the neck bracket that would usually go on the minifigure, I've put a 1x1 round stud with this special clip, or I don't know, modifier, some kind of adapter. It's a somewhat recent piece, and I happen to have enough of them to make 4 engines. So what I ended up doing is let's see how to put, yeah, it goes on this side. Stick that in first, and then you take this and stick it all the way through to just kind of hold the whole assembly in place. And then that ends up going on the first hole on the bottom of this angled plate at a slight angle, and then this plate is attached to the main wing piece, and it is angled slightly to make that kind of line up that swept wing look. So that turned out pretty nice. There's a couple older pieces in here. It might be harder to find, including this tail fin. It's got these grips on there instead of your standard stud attachment. And then up here is just a couple small angle plates. From the top, this section here looks okay, but then on the bottom it turned out kind of bulky. I don't know if I really like that, but it was kind of the only solution to go with that. And then the transition from the round fuselage shape to these ridge pieces is also a little bit rough, especially in there where you've got that reveal. But I mean, overall I'm pretty happy with it, and I think the engines especially turned out really nice for this mini build that I just popped it together. So I might make instructions for this. It's not all that difficult. I think even just by watching the video, someone could probably build it off of that. But yeah, have fun. Mini builds are a lot of fun because they don't take very long, and it's pretty easy to capture some of the detail if you know some nice piece techniques. So keep your eye out for those. I like to follow some Instagram pages that have a lot of good techniques for this kind of thing. Tips and Bricks is one of them. They post a lot of that kind of thing, not just mini builds, but other builders and MOCs in general, that kind of stuff. So maybe start with that, and the best thing to do is just practice building and see what works for you, see what you can come up with. All right, see you guys.